missing grave of the Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent is one of history's strangest mysteries. Suleiman ruled the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century and nearly conquered all of Europe. In 1566, he died during a fierce battle in modern-day Hungary. In a macabre ritual, his heart was removed, placed in a golden container, and left entombed beneath his command tent, where his followers believe it still beats, waiting to be reunited with its host. An entire town called Turbek was erected around the Sultan's burial site, but invaders wiped it off the face of the earth, and the location of Suleiman's heart vanished with it. A few years ago, I traveled to Hungary to meet archaeologists searching for the lost location of Turbek. We followed maps and clues to a tunnel where we unearthed a large block that we hoped might be part of the vanished town. And now, a major update. It is. Get ready to revisit our first adventure, and then return to Hungary on an all-new expedition to see what lies beyond the end of the tunnel, and to reveal, once and for all, the final resting place of the Sultan's heart. Suleiman's body, minus one blood-pumping muscle from the sternal area, is buried at an Istanbul mosque that bears his name. It's an understated affair. Beneath the towering minarets, I link up with noted history professor Gunhan Bareci to better understand the Sultan and the power of his missing heart. Suleiman the Magnificent. This is a big character in Ottoman history.
Yes,
yeah?
he's a big one.
And he's really presiding over the height of the empire. How is he remembered in Turkey today?
Well, first of all, he is remembered as one of the greatest sultans of Ottoman history.
Right.
Second, as a great ruler in world history who had achieved and left behind so much.
Suleiman was the longest ruling sultan in Islamic history. Under his nearly 50-year reign, art, law, and culture flourished. He was even an accomplished poet. But he was also a brutal military genius with a very big hat. By the year 1385, the Ottoman Empire has reshaped the map of the world, taking more than half of Europe under their control. And Suleiman wants more. In 1566, Suleiman's army is pushing west toward Vienna. If he can take this strategic city, he will likely take all of Europe and snuff out Christianity behind him. Standing in his way, however, is a fortress in the small Hungarian town of Szigetvár. Suleiman thinks it will be an easy battle. He's wrong. He dies of old age in his command tent before the fighting ends. Why is his heart removed?
He's far away from home, from his eternal resting place, so his body had to be preserved. In order to preserve the body, you have to remove all the organs. Of course, the heart is removed, and the heart should have been left in Hungary.
The Sultan's body is embalmed, and his heart buried underneath the tent in a lavish gold box. In time, the body is moved back to Istanbul, but the heart is left behind in a burial site that has never been found. Nearby, we enter the mausoleum of Suleiman the Magnificent. So this is it?
This is it. This is where he's buried.
Wow, the final resting place of Suleiman,
Yes.
or most of him. The tomb is stunning, but technically incomplete. It's missing one very mysterious heart. According to local tradition, the heart is more than just an organ. It's a divine relic with the power of the Sultan himself.
But people believed that, he was the shadow of God. He's representing the justice, of that, divine power on earth.
So in terms of this mystery of what became of the Sultan's heart, what do you think the next step is?
There is a team of experts, archaeologists, historians from Hungary, our colleagues, and also a Turkish team are looking, for his heart. So that's your best bet.
Right.
Go to Hungary and talk to our friends, colleagues there.
Two nations that haven't historically been very close allies have come together to try to recover the heart. So to join the hunt, I'm going to have to leave Suleiman's capital and head to the country where he died. Hey! Dr. Pap! How are you?
Hi, Josh.
Good to see
you again.
Well, I'm back. 4 years ago, I remember you saying that you were 99% sure that this was the edge of Turbek. How do you feel today?
100%.
100%.
Let me show you.
Okay, yeah, please.
Dr. Papp brings me over to see what he's been up to for the last few years.
Oh my word.
Josh, welcome to Turbek.
Look at this! There's a whole town here. Look at this place. Are you kidding me? Nice work. Congratulations, Doctor. Unbelievable.
It is truly remarkable. When I last saw this field, it was covered with neat rows of grapes ready for harvest. But this is sweeter than any wine. The lost city of Turbek, returned from the shadows of the past.
Josh, do you remember this map?
Of course I remember this map. This shows Turbek as it was in 1664. Does what you found here match the map?
It matches 100%.
And thanks to the accuracy of the map, the scientists have been able to build a 3D digital reconstruction of the entire town.
So we're where on here?
We are now exactly here.
We're here, okay. So this right here on the map, this is this big pit here. And this building wraps around here, so there would have been a building here.
Yeah? There were buildings all around us.
Wow, that's unbelievable. And we would be effectively in a courtyard here.
Yes.
The chambers the team have excavated here appear to be cloisters for a religious order known as dervishes. They would have been built here because the presence of the Sultan's heart made this holy ground.
The tomb.
The tomb.
This is the tomb of Suleiman.
You're sure?
Yes, we are sure.
We are-
You are sure. Are these stakes marking the tomb?
Yes.
Okay, so let's back away here a little bit. So the tomb would have been right here. Is that right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so describe it for me. What would it have looked like?
It was a very sacred place. With a symbolic coffin in the middle. It was covered by a green cloth. There would have been a chandelier with candles.
After the initial discovery of Turbek, this part of the site was excavated, turning up hundreds of fascinating relics associated with a funerary structure. The area was eventually backfilled to preserve the foundation. But how can Norbert and Erica be so sure that this is the tomb?
One of the most interesting things were these stones, these palm-shaped.
So these are
Stones.
palm-shaped stones.
This is what tells us that this was the tomb of Sultan Suleiman.
This is the proof. How?
Because we can find the same stones in Istanbul in its tomb.
The design on this decorative stone is nearly identical to those I saw in Istanbul at the Sultan's royal tomb, marking this as surely as a signature. Suleiman was buried here.
I've been biting my tongue, waiting to ask, what about the heart? Have you found his heart?
We haven't found his heart, but we have found something even better, his blood.
His blood.
His blood.
The blood he's talking about is currently moving through the veins of Mahmoud Namik Osmanoglu, who's here at the site at Dr. Papp's special invitation.
Josh, I would like to introduce you Mahmoud Effendi, direct descendant of Suleiman the Magnificent.
Walk me through this. What's the lineage here?
So I'm the great-great-grandson of Sultan Rashad, the second to last Sultan of Turkey.
You are a direct male descendant.
I'm a direct male descendant. It's just one bloodline right through to today.
I had no idea. I shouldn't even have shaken your hand. You are technically an imperial prince?
That's correct, yes.
Identifying the remains in the soil is just the beginning of what Dr. Papp's team is hoping to achieve at Turbek. In time, they hope to turn this tomb into a museum so that modern visitors can glimpse the glory of the Ottomans. In archaeology, you don't get many wins as definitive or as meaningful as what Dr. Papp and his team discovered. Taking little more than a legend and some centuries-old documents moldering in ancient libraries, they have brought the holy city of Turbek back into the land of the living. It is a massive achievement of massive importance, and we were there as the first stone was unearthed.